So we'll be looking at our profile of our guest. So we want to read the profile of our guests. And once again, we want to invite all those that have joined this Zoom meeting today. I can see Dr. Faith. I can see our very guests live with us. No other person than Dr. Sonny Ojeagbase. Live is live with us. And we're going to be reading his profile before we move on. So let's look at the profile before we move on. So, Dr. Emmanuel Ojeagbase is Nigeria's #1 business success coach. He's the co-founder and executive chairman of Success Attitude Development Center, a non-profit NGO founded in 1995. His mission is to raise and nurture successful entrepreneurs in a data-driven global digital economy whose success in business is based on fear of God, a burning desire to care for their families, and unquenchable thirst to give back to the community. Dr. Ojeagbase is also the publisher of Success Digest, Nigeria's #1 life-changing magazine, established to serve as a vehicle to drive the vision of SADC. It is now served as a free subscription digital magazine delivered to your email addresses on Wednesday. Dr. Emmanuel Ojeagbase is also the executive chairman of Complete Sports Limited and publishers of Complete Sports, the nation's fastest selling digital sports paper. He retired from sports writing in 1994 and started another career in human capital development field, leveraging the experience he had gained running the success in sports publishing business. And he established that organization with his wife in 1984 to create a lasting impact in the rapidly growing industry. Today, Dr. Ojeagbase is the leading authority in peak performance and life success. He is regarded by thousands of Nigerians as the inspiration of achieving their own aspiration. His pioneering seminars and workshops and entrepreneurship has raised millions and billionaires, attracted attendees from all over Nigeria and beyond, including the groundbreaking internet and information marketing business. If you are ready to get insightful, inspiring stories, lessons, and useful guidance from top-notch entrepreneurs across Nigeria and Africa, then subscribe to our YouTube channel, even here, even now. With that said and done, we want to once again welcome our guests. Sorry, sir, we kept you waiting. That probably it was internet connection. We kept you waiting, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Okay, so I can hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Probably that was the internet connection. We're not so much hearing. We just finished reading your wonderful profile, sir. It has a wonderful resume, and we're reading it live to viewers that will be watching this show after even this recorded program. And we want to go right into the program. Once again, welcome, sir. And how are you today?
I'm very fine. Give glory to God for life and for everything peaceful that is bringing our way.
Okay, that's wonderful. Nice to hear that, sir. So without not wasting too much of your time, we want to delve into the program of today. And we'll start by asking you your thoughts, your opinions on a number of things. First of all, we want to get your opinion on what does success mean to you, and how and what advice will you give to the youth crossing the Mediterranean Sea desert with a mindset that they can't make it in Nigeria, and Nigeria is not a place to succeed? What are your thoughts, sir?
Well, first of all, Appa, let me congratulate you
Thank you, sir.
For being a young man with a vision who is determined to succeed in spite of all odds. Ever since I met with you, you have always surprised me with the kind of things you undertake. Well, if you asked me, what does success mean to me?
Yes, sir.
What success means to me is simply to be able to do the things that one is, comfortable with something that makes you to express yourself, that makes you to be able to do the things that that you desire. That is the reason why I love that word success, and I crave it because I don't like what the opposite of the word success. So that's really talking about it. That's what success means to me. It is that important to me to be successful in whatever I do.
That's a wonderful will I use the word definition? But it's quite simple. But a lot of people don't say it that way. You know, it's quite simple, but a lot of people don't say it that way. And I believe this show will open the eyes of Nigerians, Africans, and they will get to see things that whatever you desire to do and you put your heart to it, and you are able to achieve it, you have succeeded in that area. I believe that's what you're trying to say, sir.
Not just trying to say, that's exactly what I said. In other words, whatever things you desire, and when you desire it and you get it, of course, you are qualified to be called a success. Wow. But your question is two parts.
Yes, it's in two parts, sir.
The second part says something about people going, over the Mediterranean Sea, the desert to get over to maybe Europe or elsewhere. I think we can find success everywhere. Everywhere. If we know what success actually means and the components, the things you have to do to be successful, then there is nowhere that you can't find success. Let me give you one example that puts the whole thing in perspective. Now, if somebody leaves his country go on one of those trips through the desert and then Mediterranean Sea and cross over to, is it
Rio,
Spain or
yes, or Italy.
Italy or wherever. When you do that, when you get over to the other side, what has happened is that you have successfully, not that word, you have successfully achieved a goal.
Hmm.
Your goal is to go to Europe. And you are so determined to go there that you don't mind the risk, or the trouble that you are going to face on your journey. So at the end of the day, you get over to the other side, and what do we say you have achieved if you
You have succeeded in achieving a goal,
to
in
the other
crossing
side?
over, yes, to the other side.
You, so back to the point. If you take the trouble that you undertake to cross the Mediterranean Sea to Europe and attack any other goal anywhere under the sun, you will achieve that goal and you will be a success.
Even if,
That's the point.
yes, because we want them to succeed in Nigeria because they carry a lot of money. They can raise capital of a 500,000 and above, and they set on a journey that is so dangerous and risky to their own lives. And only a very few succeed to the other side.
Yeah,
Achieve that goal, if we use that word.
And when you succeed to the other side, you will still have to do what is necessary to accomplish your goal. You still have to, you have to think it through. I mean, to get a job, for example, you have to think it through. You have to give what it takes. So anywhere under the sun, that you do those things aside to, if you give any goal, any objective, you will come out on tops.
Oh,
and
wow.
you'll be qualified to say you are successful in that undertaking.
Wow. Wow, that's quite insightful. And I pray our youth will get that vision that after they've crossed over the Mediterranean Sea, that they've achieved a goal, and they also need to achieve a goal on the other side that they have crossed into. That's a wonderful one, sir. Without not dragging him further, I believe the point has been made. We would like to go on to the other matters of the day, which is how do we handle societal pressures? Societal pressures, and this question comes in two parts too, and also family pressures. Because if you look at it, our society pressurizes us in a lot of ways. Your mates have achieved, your mates have done this. What are you doing? And we also have family pressures. They are telling you also that your mates have done this, your mates have achieved that. What are your thoughts on this, sir? And what opinion do you have?
Well, I mean, to me, it is very simple. If you have a goal and you are working on your goal, there can be any pressure from the family, from the society. How do I mean? If I have a goal, like I'm sitting there here talking to you, I have a goal. Now, and I'm working at my goal. No matter what pressure you try to put on me, and once I achieve my goal, that pressure that is being put on me, either societal or family or whatever, will disappear. I mean, that has been my experience. I don't care because I don't measure where I am or what I'm doing with any other person. I don't. I mean, that's a basic principle with me. I do not, and I don't encourage anybody to compare themselves with other people. What you want to do is for you yourself to know what you want out of life and design a roadmap that will take you from where you are at the moment to where the place you want to be, and be working on it focusedly without any distraction. Your mates have done this, yes? Congratulations. I am going to make it too because I'm working on my goal. But if you don't have a goal, somebody will say your mates have made it, and because you don't have a goal, you are just sleeping and waking, then you talk about pressure. Nobody is putting pressure on you in the real sense of it. It is the lack of goal, the things not determining where you want to be. That's what causes the pressure that you are talking about.
Okay, okay, it's a nice one. I believe our viewers are hearing you, and for people, Africans, Nigerians that will be watching this video after this, over and over again, I think that lesson and that point has been made. First of all, you need to set a goal. You need to work on it. If you are working on something, from what you are telling us, nobody can pressurize you because basically you have something that you are chasing and you are going at it. So basically nobody will pressurize you because a lot of our youth are actually idle. Probably that's why they are being pressured in one form or the other. If you are busy, nobody will pressurize you. And if you have a goal that you are chasing, nobody will pressurize you. Those points were clear and well understood, sir. We thank you for your time. And once again, we want to welcome everybody to this live or recorded show, whatever time you'll be watching it. This is Even Here, Even Now show on our YouTube. On YouTube, you can subscribe on our channel by clicking the red button, and you can also click on the notification button to get videos when they drop live. And our guest today is no other than Nigeria's #1 business success coach, Dr. Emmanuel Ojeagbase. We thank you once again, sir, for taking our time to be our first guest on our show. We really appreciate you, sir, for taking our time, sir. So we would like to move on. That other question led to another, and that's why we want to ask this other question. In what way can one find his or her gifting? In other words, how can you know your calling? A lot of people are confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know what business to do. I don't know what to read in school and all that. And a lot of people end up reading courses. For example, for the ones that go to school anyway, they end up reading courses. And after like 1 or 2 years, or even some even graduate and start another thing entirely and say, wow, I wasn't being fulfilled in what I was doing before. I had to start a new career. What do you have to say about those ones that are confused out there and still can't find their calling, sir?
Well, at the time when I had to deal with that issue, this is what happened. And I think if I lay out the way I went about it, it might help others listening to me. Number one, you have to again ask by having God in your life. At the time I started, I wasn't putting it that way. But today I have a very clear understanding about the God part in our lives. When we read in the Bible and God introduced himself, he said, I am the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? When I read that, and other places where God talked about himself, I am your God, I created you, and all of those things, what it means, which I discovered later, which is a good thing that I'm talking about it now, is that the place to start about asking yourself, I don't know what to do. Go back to your maker. Don't skip that part.
So we should always go back to our maker. That's your point.
Go back to your maker. God, you created me for a purpose. I know you didn't send me down here for nothing. There is a reason. I am down here trying to find out what that reason is. I'm yet to get it. Please tell me. And then when you begin to look at examples from the Bible, from Abraham, from Isaac, God said to Abraham, go before me and be perfect. And, everything about you is in my hand as it is. I will guide you. I will lead you. And the thing is, he did. There was a famine in the land, and God said to Abraham, yes, cross over to Egypt. When it came to the time of Isaac, Isaac wanted to follow the footsteps of his father. And God said, no, you are not going to Egypt. I know I asked your dad to go there, but you are not going there. Stay where you are. And Isaac stayed there. And we know all that happened. In 1 year, everything turned around for him. So just that example alone is enough to tell us that the one that sent us here has our blueprint in his hand. We shouldn't be reluctant in getting to know him and let him tell us what our purpose is here on earth. Anyone that does that always have a clear path to the future, to the high places of the world that God has designed for him or her. So, and when you are shown, as definitely you'll be shown if you take that route, you cannot know everything from point A, where you are starting, to point Z. It's impossible. So at every point where it appears you've come or you hit a brick wall, remember, instead of hitting your head at the wall, go back showed me. But here is where I am. I've been going around this place for many months now. I'm stranded here. Show me the way to get to that place you told me you are taking me to. And I will testify to that. Your creator will say, okay, this is the way, follow it. For as long as you remember to do that, you will be moving from point A to B to C to until you get to point Z. Bottom line,
Wonderful.
no one, not me, not you, not anybody, should go about their lives without connecting with God who um, made them, created them, and sent them here for a purpose. When I discover that the one that will lead me from point to point to point is the God I serve, I found it easier just moving from point to point. And that's what I commend to anybody listening to me. Find your God. Have a relationship with him, and your endless struggle will come to an end.
Wow, wow, wow. That was deep, sir. Because I noticed you really took time to explain, and you gave a roadmap, especially for the confused ones, because a lot of people are confused out there. Sometimes we meet them, we've come across them, and that's one of the purpose of this show, to show people the roadmap and bring in experienced hands, people that have succeeded, starting from scratch, people that have felt the pain and they know where it pinches, like they say in local parlance, and somebody that wears the shoes knows where he paints. Thank you, sir, for that explanation, and may God bless you for your insightful knowledge and experience all the same, because they say they can't buy experience in the market. I believe, well, with that explanation, they will be able to um, find a roadmap and go back to God to hear what He has for them here on earth. We thank you, sir, for that, sir. But we would really like to ask, because this next question leads is like a continuation from the other one. Does education or lack of it have anything to succeeding in life? A lot of people, I personally met somebody like that. Anyway, I had one of our students that came, and because we also have an academy where we train people, and he or she, they came crying and said, my parents don't have money. I can't go to school. I can't be anybody in life. And I said, wow, is that your opinion? But thank God today you have somebody, because you're Nigeria's number one success business coach, sir. What are your thoughts on that? And what advice would you give to people like that feel that education or lack of it, or not enough education can't get them to succeed in life?
Well, that question has two parts.
Really,
And
but sir.
Yes, and we need to understand each part. The first part is not a lack of enough education.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The other part is whether education will contribute to one's
Succeeding.
success.
Yes.
Yes. So let me deal with the first part first. Lack of education simply means you are looking at the pathway of somebody sponsoring you to study, to do all of those things. I mean, if you take my own example, I never went to, after primary school, which is the formal education I had before I joined the army, because my parents at that time were unable to send me to secondary school, even though I passed Western region as it was back then, scholarship exam, but I didn't qualify for, I didn't fall within the number they wanted to give scholarship. But the point is this: I did not stop testing for, educating myself. I went for self-education. And I'm telling you one thing, anybody, take it from me, anybody can do that if they are determined to do so.
And desires enough. That's what you're saying. Yes, sir.
Precisely because today, self-educate yourself. It is so easy. Just get enough money to buy a smartphone and put 500 naira data in it and hook up with google.com or youtube.com, and the means of educating yourself will open flat into your hand. Every knowledge you want to acquire is accessible to you. So it is no excuse for anybody that they didn't sponsor me. Whoever is peddling that simply don't understand what it means or didn't value educations enough. If you know what education can do for you, you are not going to sit with hands and kimbo and say, oh, did they educate me? Because you always have money to do other things that won't take you forward, but you spend it on other worthless things. However, the second part,
yes, sir. Second part
is without education, success in the real sense of it is difficult, not impossible, but it's difficult. And any success you achieve without education will not be complete. Because we can't forget what the Word of God says. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Education has to do with acquiring knowledge. So I don't see how you can skip knowledge and talk about success, about making it, and all of that. So on the one hand, don't say I wasn't
educated.
I have nobody to sponsor me. I just want to get a smartphone. Almost everybody today, whether they are educated or not, they have smartphone.
But sir, they use it to watch films. We see a lot of them. They use it to watch films and a lot of like comedy. Yes, sir.
They live on social media.
Or they're engaged on social media, on Instagram, and gossip. Yes, they practically live there, sir.
So, but go to google.com or youtube.com and find, oh my goodness, there is no knowledge that you want to acquire that you won't find at those two free sources today. None.
That is wonderful, sir, because we all know that the internet, in fact, our generation, this generation and the generation to come, they're actually suffering from information overload because what they don't know that they have a lot of information out there, especially on the internet via Google and YouTube, and you have actually opened it up to them. And I pray they told that line and get that so that they can move their lives forward. Because when we as an individual can move our life forward, I believe our country, Nigeria, and I believe the African continent on its own can move forward because there's a lot of poverty out here and a lot of people feel the lack of not having an education or one thing or the other is limiting them from achieve that. And you have opened our eyes today, telling us the road path to follow. But we want to thank you for that insightful knowledge you have given us. A lot of people don't have that information you just gave now, that the internet is a very powerful tool. You mentioned two sites, one, Google, you mentioned another one, YouTube. Those are wonderful platforms. And I believe anyone that keys into these two platforms will actually get the needed education. And one key thing you said about that is what? Self-development. You actually need to self-develop because like you rightly said, sir, the Bible says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And the information they are actually looking for are on those platforms. And if they can hold their God and seek the manual of God, which is the Bible. We thank you, sir, for that. We would like to take a break at this point. This show is going to be in two parts. After this break, we'll start the other parts. Let's take a breather. Let's take water in so our guests can take water in and we can start on the other parts. We'll see you on the other parts. Thank you once again for viewing. Don't forget, you're on Even Here, Even Now show, where we tell you that it's possible to make it in Nigeria, where you get insightful knowledge, lessons from top-notch entrepreneurs that actually started their business from scratch, that self-develop themselves and they equip themselves with the needed knowledge they needed to get to the top. Once again, thank you, sir, and we'll see you on the other parts. Thank you, sir. We'll see you on the other part after this break.
Thank you.